Welcome to another Dirty 30 episode with PNnectar. It's your host, PNnectar here, and I have a juicy episode for you today. Today, we're going to be talking all about my male, female threesome. We mentioned it before, but I know that we haven't gone into detail a lot, and I want to say bombarded, but that sounds rude. I was just, blown away by all the messages that I was getting with more questions about it and things like that. So I'm really excited to be able to break down, where we met or where all those things. So I'm super excited. It's going to be a good episode. So if you're in your car for this one, you may need to pull over. But before we get into the episode, I'm going to introduce my lovely co-host, Mr. P. Welcome.
Hello, PNnectar. I am so happy to be here as always, especially with what you're wearing right now. Sexy as fuck.
Thank you. I did my hair and everything today.
Yeah, you're amazing as always. But yes, it is great to be here with you on the 35th episode of the PNnectar podcast.
Yes.
I can't believe it's been that many.
Can you believe that? 35.
We've been watching the statistics recently we've just been blown away. Like the podcast is literally like in the past few weeks, probably like more than quadrupled.
Yeah.
Every
week it's just crazy.
It's just blowing up. So it's so exciting to have people listening from all parts of the world.
So grateful.
Almost every country in the world. And it's just great to be here with you.
Thank you. Well, yes, we are very grateful for all the listeners. It's been crazy to see the outreach that this podcast has, and it's so cool. So if you have a topic or anything that you would like to hear us talk about, then please write me in on any of my platforms, and I will be open to hearing some feedback.
As a matter of fact, you were reading me a message the other day because a Small Penis Humiliation podcast. Mm-hmm. It was actually a suggestion from one of the Redditors who sent you a message, and you said how he reached out to you just recently, saying how cool that was, and you covered it.
He was super stoked that we talked about, but I love that.
So you do listen. You do listen.
And I want to talk about what you guys want to hear. I don't necessarily want to just sit here and talk about whatever, I want it to be stuff that you guys are interested in. So that leads me into my very first segment called What Are You Wearing?
Ooh.
And it's not Mr. P, it's me.
Oh my gosh, I'm just sitting here looking.
Am wearing let's start off by saying all of this is mesh. There's no, it's all see-through. Very strappy little set. The bottoms are a high-waisted thong, so they sit up pretty high. But high-waisted stuff, I think, looks pretty good on me. I have long legs and a long body, so
yes.
High-waisted just, I think, accentuates it a little bit better. My top is completely mesh, so if you look good enough, you can see my nipples.
Ooh.
And it's cold in here.
Ooh.
And that it has a strap that goes on each side at the breast and goes all the way up to my shoulders. Little bra set.
Yes.
Bra thong set.
And it's like a
bright royal blue color.
And those straps right there, because it's like you're saying the bra, but above the main part of the bra are straps.
Yeah.
For one strap on each side.
Yeah.
So do that again. Ooh.
Yeah, that's nice, right?
Yeah, I love it. So you look sexy as fuck in that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you posted on OnlyFans and Reddit that
I've done a few customs actually in this set. I really like this set, so I imagine how much everyone else loves it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Today's episode is going to be all about our male, female threesome with me and Mr. P and our amazing friend, LittleKaitt, if you know.
Yes.
LittleKaitt. Yes. I know a lot of our followers went and followed her. We're so excited to be able to, a lot of people think that I just do content just for the sake of doing content. And I really don't do it for that reason. I really do it for the experience. You and I are genuinely into this stuff. So I don't know. And it's always been something I felt very strong about because we've been hit up by everyone and their mom on Reddit. Like if you follow anyone that does not safe for work on Reddit, then we've probably interacted at some point. And I don't know, I've just never been interested in like, let's do it for our fans or like, let's do it for the sake of collabing. Like I want to be, when I have sex with you, Mr. P, and someone else, like I want it to feel sexy. I want it to feel, and it did. That night was so much fun.
Yes.
That was my first female, male threesome. We've had a male, female threesome in the past. Right. I hate having to say the whole thing out, right? Isn't it like, I know. MMF.
Sounds like fucking like wrestling. Like it's like someone's about to jump off the top rope.
Yeah, like it's an issue or something. Yeah, so we had an MMF in the past and it was all right. And I just remember like you and I showering after the fact together. And I was just like, I think like another female would be a lot more fun than it would a male.
Yes. And I remember that moment actually very distinctly. And I was like, wow, okay, yeah, I'm totally cool with that. And this was a question on Instagram actually recently. I've been doing those Q&As. I really like hearing the questions from people and love answering them. And someone had asked about that. And I had said, like the MFF was a lot more fun to me. And someone had messaged and said, oh, well, was it because another male is a lot more responsibility to take on? And I just kind of laughed like, give me 30 seconds. But no, it wasn't that. It was just like there was something, and maybe it's because I'm into females more than I think I am, but there was just something so much more sexy about that experience than it was another male for me. Yeah, well, I just think, like the authenticity, like you were talking about, what you like here, but that's how PNnectar started. Like PNnectar started as, just you being yourself and doing what you do. And that's what people gravitated towards. And like you've talked about, you never expected it to blow up this big, and it did. And people love to see the real you. Mm-hmm. And like you were saying, we talked about after that threesome with that guy, the MMF threesome. You mentioned, talking about wanting to be with you're just like, yeah, like I'm just over this, just want to be with like girls. And I was just like, yeah, I'm totally cool with that. And so, yeah.
I bet.
So like, so how did you meet LittleKaitt? Like, was it someone you knew before?
So when we were still in Florida, I think we had originally met on Reddit and then sent each other, our OnlyFans things and just kind of interacted over time through the not safe for work space.
Right.
One thing that really attracted me to Kate at first was she's very active.
She's fit as
yeah.
fuck. Like,
and if you know us, we're very that to me is attractive when someone wants to go out and bike. What did she do when she left our house? Like a 60-mile bike or something?
Yeah, 60.
The next day.
Some crazy long bike
So
ride. We were just like, wait, what? Like you're leaving here? And tomorrow morning go to do that? She's like, yeah. We're like, okay.
But people to me, like
Beast.
that to me, discipline and, the drive to do stuff like that is super attractive to me. So right off the bat, we liked Kate.
Yeah.
Just interacting through not safe for work stuff. We saw how active she was. And I felt like she was truly giving like an authentic representation of her stuff. She's not, what you see is what you get with her pretty much. And
she is who she is. She's who, you see the girl, that's like, she's just a very sweet girl.
And it's very easy for people on the internet. A lot of you guys know Instagram, for a matter of fact, like it's really easy for people to put their best selves out there all the time. And create a persona online that's not that
them. I mean, maybe we've all even done that in a slight sense.
No, 100%. It's easy to get caught up in the vanity of it, right?
Yeah. I mean, on Instagram, you only post your good pictures. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that, you only post the good stuff that you want people to see.
Yes.
So it's very easy to get caught up in doing that. And I think with LittleKaitt, like it was just what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
And so when we moved back to Texas, you know, I know she was near the same area. And so we met up to hike, and that was kind of nice. Like I had the conversation with her before, like, look, if we meet and like we're not sexually attracted to each other at all, like then that's okay. We can still be really cool friends because, you know, we are all interested in the same thing. And so like the expectation of that, like we have to like each other because we have to make this content for our fans. I don't like that. Like that gives me bad vibes. So to be able to have that conversation up front and beforehand, like to say, just so you know, like if this doesn't work out, it's totally cool on everyone's end. And so we hung out, and just her and I, we went for a hike, and it was really awesome. And like, we just kind of talked the whole time and got to know each other. And it was nice because like that same person that I was talking to on that hike is the same person that I see online. So it was like a little bit reassuring to know. And I'm sure for her, maybe even like to know that PNnectar is who she says she is, and it's not just a front online. And so that was nice. That was a good feeling, you know, and then we came back, you met her.
Yeah, I was happy to meet her, of course.
He's like, welcome, breakfast.
Yes, no, she is very sweet. And like, so she posted on Reddit as well, which is, I believe that's where y'all first met. And like she posts in the same subreddits, right? Like she's very for some of the same subreddits, at least. Like, I know I see her in like fit naked girls. And so like, which she does great in, you know, because she has this banging body. And she's an all natural girl too. Like she has big old boobies, but they're all natural, like big, perfect tits, just fun to suck on.
She has a nice body. Like it's like you said, natural. And no offense to anyone that's not natural, but it's just like for us, that's what we prefer. I don't.
Well, it's like incredible when you see somebody with a body like hers, and you're like, holy shit! Like
that's what you're like. Are her tits fake? And I was like, no, they're real. Like, no, they're real.
So, and I don't know if people understand, like, y'all talked for months, I believe, you know, at least
probably even
a couple months at least before y'all ever met up, because we were out in Florida, like you were saying, when y'all first met. And it wasn't until we moved back here to Texas, and I was just looking at the dates the other day. It was like late August, I guess, when you finally, you know, were hanging out with her, or early August and then late August. But yeah, she is. It was a great time. So y'all went on that hike, and that was like y'all's first, you know, time around each other, I guess. And she, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you know, it's interesting, like talking about that hike. It's so funny because like, I think a lot of my followers got a taste of like, okay, maybe this is more authentic and real. Because when we went on that hike, everyone was like, show us the goods, show us the goods. And I was like, we just went for a hike, like no expectations. Yeah. We took a few photos. We took that video where she pulled her shirt up and stuff. And, but like, we weren't like, okay, we got to go fuck when we get back home. Like it was just that. And so, you know, as much as maybe it let some of my followers down that there wasn't more, I think like I was just really being authentic and like showing them like, hey, this is you guys, we did take some stuff for you because we're always thinking about you, always thinking about our fans. But like this was more of an experience for me.
Yeah.
It was more for me to get to know this person, to see if I want to go to that next step. And, you know, you guys get everything that I have, everything. So trust me, if there's something going down, you're going to see it.
Yeah. So then y'all get back from that hike, and let's see, we went and walked through the little downtown area here, and went to the pickle place.
Love the pickle place.
Yeah. And but then so we hung out a little bit, but then she went home, and then I guess you added us to a group text, and I was like, hell yeah, in a group text with these two hot girls.
Yeah, I think I added you in the group text before.
Was it?
Oh
Before?
no, it was after the
thought it was
hiking.
after, yeah.
Yes.
And
yeah.
then, so it took a few weeks, but then she came back down, and she had it all planned, like we were saying, of going on a bike ride or whatever. And because she's a triathlete, and so that second night that she came down here to hang out was when we actually all got to know each other a little better. And it was fun to watch you two girls together play with each other. And
we got changed. That's kind of what we did first, was go get changed.
Yes. Yeah, because she showed up and, she's wearing this sexy outfit, very sexy outfit. But then she even changed, after hanging out a little bit, she even changed into something even more sexy. That white lace. She was wearing like
one
this
piece bodysuit.
Yes, it's just, she is absolutely stunning in that.
Yeah.
And
with her red hair too, so like it looked good. I think I had black on, so like black and blonde, and then she had the white and red head. Like it was hot.
yeah, she was standing there, and she had just got dressed, and like we have that big full length mirror, and she was turning there, and I saw like the mirror, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to take a picture. So I pulled out my camera and got a few shots
P
of her.
is a happy man.
Yes, Mr. P, the photographer.
Well, and then so the next thing, we got on the bed, and Kate was like, oh, any limits? And and I was like, nah, I think I'm pretty open to whatever. And so we started making out and like rubbing on each other, and you were taking pictures, and then I know at one point you were like, okay, fuck this camera. And you like set the camera down to come join.
It happens all too often. I think probably 99.9% of the guys listening to this can agree that like you have this, these thoughts and ideas going through your head about what you're going to do. Leading up to the situation, and like, like you're hooking up with this girl or guy or whatever it is. It's like, oh my gosh, like in your mind, you're going to do this, and like you play it all out, and then it happens, and you're just like, fuck, then you're kind of between a rock and a hard place. So me, I had my camera,
chose the hard place.
Yeah, definitely chose the hard place, and I was taking pictures with like my big professional camera, and I didn't get many shots in. I don't know, like.
And I didn't.
Maybe 10 pictures or something.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And I don't even remember, I was just like, fuck this camera. I just started touching y'all, and it was game on from there.
And I didn't realize that you had that camera on the bedside table either. That got like some really good footage of like the really intimate, because I know like at one point you went out of the room to grab some water. And for Kate, and like I remember Kate being like, I'm so like nervous right now. Like the adrenaline was just so high. We had just got done making out, and so like we hugged down each other and whatever.
Yeah.
And so then I think people like we sucked your dick first, or actually she did.
Yeah, that's when she asked for water. She was going to town, giving me this awesome fucking blowjob. I was just like blown away with how good she is sucking dick, and I was just like, man. And y'all are both.
It was so nice. I was like, I don't have to do anything right now.
PN35's just sitting right
hold
next
hair.
to her, like she's just smiling, like this is great. Like let her do it. And Kate was just she is an expert. I'll say that much. And then she's just like all of a sudden she's just like, I have some water, please. I was like. I heard her, but I was like, wait, did I hear her correctly? So I was like, wait, what'd you say? She goes, can I have some water, please? I was like, absolutely. So I went and grabbed some water. And that's what I guess she told, like she's nervous, and which I totally get, and
but then you started fucking me.
Yes.
And that's when she was like, oh, I'm a little jealous right now. But that was one of the people asked me what my favorite sex position is, and it's probably whatever we had where she was bouncing my legs, had her feet on my legs, bouncing me back on your dick, and you're fucking me doggy style.
Yeah.
I was like, I literally don't have to do anything right now but get fucked, and it was amazing.
Yeah, she was like you were on top of her, so she's like it was like she was on her back and you were on top of her, like in the missionary position, right? And so I came up behind you, and I think you were still wearing your panties. I probably just pulled them to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The signature.
There's a subreddit for that. And so I was fucking you, and like she had her legs kind of like wrapped around you, like your torso, and like her ankles hooked. I was just like, oh, that's so fucking hot, and like y'all are making out. And then I was like, wait, like she had on her like white nylon pantyhose or stockings, yeah, whatever they're called. And so I was like, man, I kind of have a slight foot fetish. Like I'm not like a straight on foot fetish guy, but I definitely have a foot fetish a little bit. And her like feet were right there, and they were like in these white stockings, and I just started rubbing on them. Like, oh, wait a second. So I repositioned her feet to right on your hips as I was fucking you doggy. And so like
That's great.
Yeah, it was great. So like on PNnectar's hips, one of Kate's feet were on each of them, and like Kate was thrusting PNnectar back into me, like hard on my dick, like
hard.
Fucking slap it. Yeah, so
it's great.
And like we kind of like all three got into a good rhythm, and it was really, really fun. So that was the first time I've ever done that. It was
really
fantastic.
Yay. We got a first.
Yeah, actually, like I've never really had like that was like my first like really good FFM.
Yeah.
Make sure I get that correctly.
Yeah.
Threesome. Like I've been with like two chicks, but like I was always drunk as fuck, like some
that's one
after
thing.
The bar type stuff.
And that's one thing Kate had mentioned too. Like she was like, it's really nice to be able to get these experiences with you guys and like not regret it the next day, or not be so drunk that you don't even like, realize what you're doing. And a lot of people have to do that. A lot of people have to get drunk so they can either have the courage to do what they truly want, or B, seek out things that they truly want, or, just anything like that. So it is people. I wish more people would live like that. Like just, do what you want as long as it doesn't hurt you or someone else. Like I think you should live your authentic life, because someone on Instagram, actually, it was a female who wrote in a question, and she said, I cheated on my boyfriend recently. How do I live with the regret? And I said, well, like I've cheated on boyfriends too, but I always maybe I didn't realize till later on, but I wasn't living my true authentic life. Now those were super monogamous relationships where like you can't even fucking have another guy on your face. It's just stuff like that.
You're living inside the box of society.
Yeah, you can't even look or have a conversation with another guy, or it's considered all this BS. And it's like now I'm in a relationship where like, people message us all the time, and there's always things going on, and we have complete trust in each other. And I know if I want something that I can come to you and talk about it, and vice versa. You can come to me and talk to me about it. So
like me busting a load on Kate.
Yeah, all over her at the end.
Could I talk about that?
Yeah.
That's kind of like my fucking glory moment.
Was it?
No, I mean,
so what was going on when that was happening?
So let's see here. Like Kate like took it upon herself. Like she had the initiative to like get on, like I was kind of on my knees on the bed, right? And she just like got underneath me, and just so she could just start sucking on my balls. I was like, holy shit.
So I saw the open dick.
Yeah. So PNnectar here saw the moment. She fucking jumped on my dick.
My mouth.
but with your mouth. Yes. So Kate was underneath me sucking on my balls. Sounds funny to say like that. Like, because I have to say this seriously, right? Like, hold on. So yeah, she was underneath me sucking on my balls while you were giving me this amazing blowjob. And then it was just all too good. And like her perfect body was out in front of me. And so while you're giving me a blowjob, I'm just like rubbing on her and like her boobs and her nipples, and she still had her lace
Bodysuit,
one
yeah.
piece bodysuit on, and but like her tits were out, and so yeah, I just couldn't hold it anymore, and I fucking busted a big old load.
And I didn't have to clean any off myself.
Yeah.
So shout out to you, LittleKaitt, for taking that load.
Yeah, and she at the very end, like she like sucked some cum off my dick, and she even commented on the flavor. People may like to hear that. What'd she say? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I don't know what the fuck I was doing, but I wasn't in that.
I wonder what. Well, maybe I heard things.
He said maybe the angels came down and spoke to me when I released this amazing load.
No, she mentioned something about how my cum tastes good, and she goes, it's because you don't like, or she comments on like the way I eat healthy, and drink water and stuff. And so I was like, man,
He's
this
like,
is kind of like put my palms together, rub it back and forth. Shit. No,
it was super fun.
So, but I do wonder if that's true. And it must.
I bet it does, because your cum does taste good. People always like, how do you take those loads? I'm like, because it doesn't taste bad. I swallow that like that.
Yeah, I love busting loads.
I know you do.
Yeah, so LittleKaitt, thank you so much. It was absolutely amazing. I think anyone listening right now should go follow her on all her social sites. She's LittleKaitt, LittleKai, 2 T's at the end. TT. So,
yeah, it was super fun.
Go follow her.
And maybe you'll see more stuff in the future. Yeah. Just know it's all authentic.
She would be fun to have on the podcast too. I think she'd be great to have on the podcast.
We
should.
She
has a very, very sexy voice too.
Yeah, we should definitely. If you guys would like to hear a podcast with LittleKaitt here live, maybe.
Yes,
that'd be a lot of fun.
Yes. So, what else do you have going on, PNnectar?
So, and if you guys have any questions about our threesomes, feel free to message us. I just wanted to talk a little more in depth about that. I hope I made everyone happy. That I know my inbox had a lot of questions, a lot of like, how did you meet her? Where do you meet babes? And I'm like, this is the only babe I've met.
Yeah, people have this misconception that like you're going out with all these people all the time, and it's just,
I wish someone would invite me to a sex party. I have never, you know what I mean? Like that stuff would be fun.
You've been invited to sex parties. You've been, Do
you remember the girl we met at the beach that had gone to one? And she goes, I said, what is that bruise on your face? She goes, girl, he slapped me with his dick. She said, I'm not kidding. And she pulled up pictures. I was like, oh my God, that's a big dick.
Yeah. And it was a dude that she had just met the night before.
In
Miami
or on the
airplane. The airplane. Yeah. Some shit like that. But she went to a sex party. Yeah. She was fun.
Okay. So before we end the podcast episode for today, I did have... if you know about my platforms, then you know that I have Discord. Discord is a really fun platform because it's not censored like a lot of the other ones. So I kind of have a lot of stuff on there. There's a lot of not safe for work. There's a lot of safe for work stuff. And we accept people of everything there. And we recently had a female join the Discord, went ahead and got verified right away, gets, her verification roles, all of that. And then, I notice how active she is. She's super active in the Discord, which we're so grateful for because, I can't be there all the time. So it's really amazing to have this community that thrives on its own.
Yep. So many people in the Discord make that thing
tons.
Thank you everybody who's in there all the time in the lounge and daily everything. Thank you guys so much. It's so cool to just jump in and sometimes I say things, sometimes all the time I'm just looking around in there,
right.
Posting some pictures if I get a chance. So thank you everyone in Discord.
Yes, thank you. Thank you to all the cocks in there too. I love seeing
There's
that.
a lot of dicks posting and cocks only.
But we recently had a female join. She's been really amazing, really interactive, and she sent me a message on Discord just a couple days ago, and I wanted to read it on the podcast real quick. So the message says, I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate your podcast and you as a person. You are so open and positive and encouraging. I love the variety of topics you cover, how you're willing to discuss just about anything. I'm a dirty girl.
If you only knew.
I also love the way you interact with your fans and how welcoming you and your husband are. I also appreciate your live sex play. It's better because it's absolutely real and because of your connection with each other. I'll be honest, I was driving home when I listened to episode 7. That was amazing. I was moaning right along with you and soaked. Damn. I was also crying a bit with you when you shared that letter in episode 9. I feel like I'm right there with you guys in your room, sitting on your king. It's going to make me cry. Oh, I'm such a baby. Sitting on your king size bed or just in the room. Either way would be delightful to me. Makes me wish I was actually closer location wise to y'all. Would love to physically hang out with you guys. I'm content to listen and watch.
You know, that's so nice. Thank you so much for that message. And if you're watching right now, PNnectar is literally wiping tears from her eyes because that made her tear up. Like, that's how much, you know, these letters and messages and comments that people leave every single day, especially in your inbox, mean to us.
Yeah.
You know, of course, like we do, it's the sex stuff. It's so much fun, right? Like, we love showing off our bodies, everything that we do sexually, and people love to see that. And let's not get it twisted. That's what attracts people to us. Right. But then people also see that, man, like there's this whole other side to it. Mm-hmm. There's this whole other side to PNnectar, and that's the whole personal and personable side, the real life side, and where people, you know, tell us, you know, all aspects of their lives and how they can relate to us in some way with whatever it is. And people feel very comfortable talking to us. And, you know, as like this one, the real deep subject about the guy who a few months ago, I remember you reading me the story about the guy who it was like his 10th year anniversary. I can't remember how many years or whatever it was of his child being hit by a drunk driver in the front yard, you know, and like, it's just like, oh my God, like this is like we would never expected to have these conversations with people, you know, it's like, man, like there's real life stuff and each one of our fans, each one of you are real human beings with real lives, with real stories, with real adventures, with real heartaches. And we are incredibly thankful that you do share those with us. So thank you for sending in that message. And thank you everyone who reaches out to us on a daily basis. You know, we couldn't be more grateful for you. So thank you very much.
Yeah. And, you know, just for me personally, like it feels really good to know that like I either create a place that people feel comfortable going to be themselves, or I help someone feel better about their day or anything like that. Because a lot of my life, like I didn't have any outlet like that. Yeah. It was because of me being as positive as I am, instilling that stuff into me that made me get here to PNnectar. And like the fact that I can provide that for other people when I didn't have that, like that's all I want ever, because the world is fucking rough. Yeah. You know?
Absolutely. You know what, PNnectar, it kind of makes me think of like when I like a weird analogy to what you're saying, like this openness, this space that you provide for people. It's like I've had a few bosses like in my past, like I can think of one guy in particular who was a great boss to work for. Excuse me. And one of the things that he mentioned, not frequently, but he said a few times, was like how he like took some of the heat from the higher ups above him to like protect us, to kind of provide a way or provide our space so we could do our jobs, you know, like he would take the flack, he would take the heat, basically, kind of protecting us. And it's like, you know what, like I kind of feel that in the same way with our community and our fans, that people can look to us as like, you know what, fuck it, they're doing it, I can do it too.
Yeah.
You know, like these are like real people that, you know, that they're just out there doing their things, talking about us, and people see that, and especially like with how attractive you are and how gorgeous you are. But also they see how sweet you are and how kind you are, and you're not this condescending asshole. Like, no, like you're this happy, cheerful girl that you're cheering for everybody to do better, and you're trying to lift people up. And people see that and they're like, you know what, I can do the same thing. And whether it's, you know, fucking guys wanting to stick butt plugs in their asses, or girls wanting to be with other girls, or just a guy, you know, wanting to talk to his wife about getting a blowjob in his marriage. Like, you wouldn't believe how many messages you get like that about guys who have never had a blowjob from their wife. And it's like, well, you know, and I know that you always ask this question, well, have you asked her?
Yeah. I'm like, well, have you talked to her about it?
And a lot of times the answer is no.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, talk to your partner.
And it's not even like, so I think that A, it is a lot of talking to your partner, but B is like, you have to drop all of your egos too. Like
100%.
You can't have an ego. She can't have an ego. So when you do have this conversation, and that's probably why a lot of people don't, because guys feel like, okay, well, I'm going to go to her and say, hey babe, I've been, you know, I have needs. And one of those needs, I really would like to be given a blowjob every now and then. Like, we're married and I just love that. And whatever, you know, the explanation is.
Yeah.
And the wife goes, oh my gosh, like, you don't think that I do enough? Or, oh my, I can't believe you would ask me that. I do everything. I take care of the kids. I blah, 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 like all of that. You have to drop your ego.
Right.
Okay. So maybe it is a little deeper than that. Like, maybe you need to have a different approach when it comes to having that conversation with your wife, because there are egos involved.
Yep.
Whether we see it or not, there's egos involved. So when your husband comes to you and says, hey, this chick's hot, I might want to do this, like, you have to kind of take a step back and be open to, maybe that's not something you're open to, but don't get mad at him. You know what I mean? Or vice versa. Don't get mad at your wife if she comes to you and says, hey, I want to fuck, you know, other dudes every now and then with you. Like, don't be mad at that, because at least she's being open and authentic and vulnerable instead of lying about what she wants. Because I can tell you this right now, people have needs and they have them no matter, they satisfy them no matter what. Right. They will find a way to satisfy them one way or another. Half the people that message me on Reddit about their problems, that's what they're looking for, is just someone to validate their feelings. And I'm like, well, do something about it.
Right. And I'm about to say something kind of controversial, but I hope people will listen to just what I'm saying. That's why I think it's important, if all else fails, that maybe you should also consider moving on. Like, you know, because, like, what's the alternative? Being miserable your whole like, and the thing is, you know, people say, well, you know, like, our relationship is great, other than the sex is fucking terrible or like non-existent. Well, it's like, well, I think that's a huge component to a happy relationship, and obviously you do too, or you wouldn't be fucking contacting me about it.
Yeah.
But you know, like, I was married before, and if I would not have moved on, I would not be with you and living this amazing life and have found the happiness I found, because I was truthful with who I was. And because I was truthful with that, like, I was able to have difficult conversations with you about the relationship that I wanted to have with you. And we've worked through a lot of things because of that, which has led us to this great relationship. And, you know, I did not have that with previous relationships. And it was like, you know, and you know, I'm not saying that I was not at fault for a lot of those problems in my previous relationship, because I was. But my point is like, you know, they were fucking ruined. You know,
well,
it's
and
like,
you were living non-authentic.
Exactly.
You weren't living 100%. So what were you doing instead? You know what I mean?
Well, I was out seeking other things, like you were saying.
Because you couldn't be authentic.
Exactly. So, and you know, like, we're getting stuck in these societal roles, you know, that they want us to play, and which you and I, you know, realized right from the start of us being together is like, yeah, like, we're going to do what's good for us. Fuck what people think, you know?
Yeah.
And, So I think it's important for people to be happy.
Yeah.
And I think that
be
everyone
kind.
deserves to be happy. And, sometimes there's some calluses that have to be formed. And, sometimes you just need to be forged in fire a little bit and make some difficult decisions. Or sometimes it's just, quit being an asshole. And
we have a guy on the Discord that's like, man, I've been a dick to my wife here lately,
Yes,
and I haven't even realized until listening to you all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of that may be introspective about, working on yourselves, as we always work to better ourselves, and understand, like you talk about, dropping the ego, and, you're not perfect. And
which is hard. It's so, you guys don't understand, like, it's so hard to, but when you realize that those things don't matter, like, you have to just remember that, like, in the grand scheme of things, like, the expectations that I have and all of that, like, they don't matter. My relationship with you matters. So let's focus on how to move forward in that,
And Panty Nectar fans.
Yes.
We love Panty Nectar fans.
Yes. The next episode is actually going to be pretty good. I think
So what is the next episode is 36?
36.
Okay.
Almost through the dirty 30s, you guys. Kind of sad.
Do you have a topic picked out?
So I do. The next episode is going to be about rimming.
Ooh.
I think a lot of our...
I like rimming.
Yeah, I know you do. A lot of our fans, I think, are going to be interested in hearing that, about that topic.
Yes.
And about preferences and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, rimming is a great topic because, especially for guys, I think, because a lot of guys who, like, a lot of straight guys like to be rimmed, but so it's kind of like a topic that they're like maybe not comfortable discussing.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
but
shit.
we're going to get into it.
But it's like, like I like to be rimmed, but I don't like having anything really stuck in my ass.
I know people ask that. Okay, well, we
yeah, we'll save that for next time.
Look at us, we get too caught up. Okay, well, thank you again for listening to this lovely episode. Cannot wait to chit chat with you guys next time. See ya.